A New Yorker by the name of Casey Neistat was riding his bike, but he wasn't riding his bike in the bike lane. So a New York City police officer gave him a ticket, and he had to pay a $50 fine as a result of that. Now, he wanted to make a point about how it's not really realistic to ask bicyclists to ride in a bike lane because oftentimes there are certain obstacles that stand in the way. So he makes this video. It's hilarious. Take a quick look.
So I got a ticket for not riding in the bike lane, but often there are obstructions that keep you from properly riding in the bike lane.
Ooh.
That was fun. I hope he didn't get hurt.
I know. I mean, it looked like those were some serious crashes.
Yeah.
Like he could have suffered some real injuries as a result. But I actually think he makes a really great point. And you can make the same type of point when it comes to how a lot of cities are no longer walkable, right? That's like a big problem where you go to a metropolitan area and they get rid of certain sidewalks or certain walkways, so you can't walk anywhere. You always have to be in a car or in a taxi or public transportation. And that actually contributes to the country's obesity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have some strong opinions on this.
Oh,
and,
all right.
Go.
I want to lay my cards on the table.
Okay,
honestly.
do it.
Right? I am not a liberal bikeocrat. I have actively written ridiculing John Kerry and Sam Stein from Huffington Post for their biking habits. And
How dare they?
It's really puny. And I was actually the victim of a bike-on-car attack.
Oh my God!
When I was in Portland, Oregon,
Of course it was Portland,
I
Oregon.
saw that episode of Portlandia.
I pulled up to a stop sign and came to a stop, which in New Jersey means slowing down to like 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And there was some biker on the side of the road who yelled at the top of his lungs, "No!" Which actually made me come to a full stop. So I went back, and I felt that was very violent. And so I feel like given my tendencies, I would be kind of like a credible witness for this guy, saying, let him go, let him go. I'd be like the Ted Olson in the gay marriage case, like the counterintuitive person, but I'm not that person. I think we should find him and find him more. And here's a serious reason why. You could argue that I went through a red light and I got away with it and nobody got hurt, and therefore the cop is wrong to give me a ticket. And you can argue that you can do that 9 times out of 10, but we rely, as we drive, as we're on the bike path, as we're on the sidewalk, on a system of laws that are enforced rigorously to avoid death. Right? Mm-hmm. If I'm in New York and I'm looking in a Macy's store window, eating a piece of pizza, and I pivot outward, I don't expect to be hit by a bike. And this guy, if he's riding on the sidewalk, I do expect to be mugged. Yeah. That's true, but not hit by a bike. And if he's riding on the sidewalk, I'm not sure exactly if he was on the street where he might be hit, which would be fine, or if he was on the sidewalk where he might hit me. That's just wrong, and we need to enforce that.
So let me jump in. I agree that we need to enforce the bike lane. So I'm not upset that he got a fine, but I am upset that there are, things blocking the bike lane. You can't ask someone, you can't reasonably expect someone to use the bike lane if you're making it as difficult as possible for them to use it.
Would you admit that was kind of a phony argument, right? That's like me saying,
no, I thought that was actually a really good argument.
I got a ticket, and therefore I'm going to tape myself in my car coming up to a road that is clearly marked off as, with cones. I'm just going to drive through it and then say, I can't ride on the roads, right? He was picking these examples where no cop would accuse someone of violating the law by going around a trash can, right? That was picking the needle in the haystack argument when his real problem was that he was taking his bike probably on the sidewalk.
Look, right? I'm not from New York. I'm from LA, and I will say that in Los Angeles, it's really, really difficult to ride your bike around. And it's not. I don't think that he was cherry picking or finding very specific areas, and it's few and far between. I think that you deal with those things a lot when you want to ride your bike.
You think he was given a ticket because he was going around an obstacle in the bike path?
No, I don't know. That's not what I'm saying at all. Okay. I'm just saying that he is making a good point in that video about the things that obstruct you from actually using the bike lane.
I'm surprised at how close this has become.
Really?
Yeah, because I was going to be on Anna's side, right? But Adam swung me a little bit because, the cop wouldn't have given him the ticket if he was just biking around an obstruction.
We're debating about two completely different things. Right. We don't know what. I think he deserved the ticket. Okay, he should have been in the bike lane, but he's making a good point that the bike lane has certain obstacles where it makes it really difficult to stay just in the bike lane.
Before I hear from Justice Rubin, apparently since it got heated on this, drop it.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Well, let me just throw one other thing in here. As someone that's from New York City that had a bike there, the roads are incredibly crowded. I'm talking about with the cars, and people are still riding out there. Now they have bike lanes, but not only that, but now we have the city bike in New York City, which added literally thousands of more bikes in one day. There were thousands of more bikes out there. So there is such just a cluster bomb of chaos when it comes to biking and how people have to get around. And then you throw all the construction in there and everything else that's in New York City. So I grant this guy a major, major leash, regardless of whether he veered out of the way of a traffic corner.
So just to be clear, you're saying that the thousands of bikes should be on the sidewalk?
That the what?
That the thousands of bikes should be on the sidewalk. That's what you're arguing?
That the thousands of bikes should be on the sidewalk.
Yeah, you're saying that there are all these bikes, and therefore.
Well, we just added all these bikes because we wanted to get cars off the road, but now we've just added more dangerous
First of all,
bikes.
I just want to apologize. Look, these people hurt me. These bikers hurt me.
All the biker said was no. You're a little sensitive there.
No, I'm now. Adam has totally swung me.
What the hell? Really? That's insane.
No, because I'm also, to be fair, I have to call out my own bias. I'm a little anti-biker myself.
Oh my God.
I think like the bikers are crazy. They're taking their life into their own hands, and then like when I run into them, I'm going to be the bad guy, right? So like because I'm not that great a driver to begin with, and then we got these bikes, and they're like, oh, lollygagging in the middle of the road. Oh, I'm a biker. I got to ride to this road too.
Screw those people that are trying to save the environment by getting around in something that doesn't
They're
actually
gonna
have
get
any
hurt.
fuel
And look
emissions.
what
That's
happened.
right, sister.
The
Jeez.
executive producer of the Young Turks got into a major biking accident earlier this week.
Because we live in an area that isn't bike friendly. That's the problem, and that was the point he was trying to make in the video.
Look, bike friendly. Go live in a shire.
Oh my God.
Look, we live in major cities. And so, look, no, I get what the guy is saying. He's saying, look, it's so often obstructed, to your point, Anna, that I can't ride there. It's not just I have to swerve a little bit. I have to keep swerving. So, like, it's on you, Bloomberg, in New York City, to fix the bike lanes. And I'm amenable to that, and I agree with that, and God bless. Okay, but you can't just take the law into your own hands and be like, have you ever been in New York? Because if Adam's, to me, winning point was, if you're outside the bike lanes, that means you're only in two places. On the sidewalk, where you're going to run into 128 people. New York City, the sidewalk is jam-packed. If you got a biker in there, he's going to do some serious damage. Or you're in the car lanes, which is a threat to everybody. I mean, that's insane in New York to be in the car lanes.
Not a single person on this panel is advocating for bikers or bike riders to ride on the street with the other cars or on the sidewalk.
Not a single person. 2 people.
Okay, all right, that's it. Where the Supreme Court is split on this 2-2.
No one's split though.
No, we're voting guilty on the guy. You guys are voting not
I'm with
guilty.
you. They're nuts.
You guys are crazy.
Pro-bike,
Fine.
man.
If you guys want to be wrong, then go ahead.
All right, so
What do we do in a case like this?
We bring it to the people. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, normally we don't care what the people say. If there's a ruling where it's clear 3-1, unanimous, whatever, then it's over. Okay. But if it's a tie, then we go to the people. Okay. So we'll put this up on our website. Go to tytnetwork.com, and vote guilty or not guilty on this biker, and you will decide. And then we will let you know on, and of course we have a link to it here in the video if you're watching this on YouTube, and we'll let you know on Monday who won.